Gentlemen, I'm excited now. I've lost where we're at. Tap and run, number 9, Craig Williams. Anything could happen here. Might knock a few over on the way out. Barrier 10, $17. Lewis Willoughby's declared it, so put a red pen through it. Can't win. Mick Wallace.
Well, qualified for the race by finishing runner-up to another one and darted through late, was very strong through the line at the end of the 1,400 metres. Just had that really nice economical run in transit that day from gate number 1. Has had a run since at Flemington against good quality opposition, went back to the 1,200 metres, which probably didn't suit. So getting back out the 7 furlongs on Saturday's a plus, but not as confident as Lewis on this one.
Yeah, neither am I, Mick. But I've got a bit of a theory behind it in that heat, and I'll be interested to see what you guys think. I think Nick Haywood just knew he's on the right horse, and he went forward, he went early, he broke their hearts, and probably ran his 200 to 400 quicker than, and he's probably his 200 to 600 quicker than probably what he should. And he was just a bit vulnerable late, and I think that flattered Tap and Run's qualification run. Mate, I'm a brave man taking on Ronnie Stubbs and Craig Williams. They're very astute at what they do, especially Ronnie when him and M.A. Carl tee up, they get it right more times than not. But I've just got it, at midfield, and I've formed an opinion on its run in the heat, and yeah, I've got the heat at Wagga rating high, based around another one and being a classy horse. I just thought its run was a little bit flattered in the heat. That's all.
Punters out there, just so you are aware, I've got its last 2 heavy runs, which would have been its 9th and 8th runs, as the 9th run was awful and the 8th run as its 8th worst run in its last 8. So for mine, clearly better on a dry ground, and we need a lot of sun up and run, and Louis Willoughby to be diving over in the corner. Number 10, Great Buy, Barrier 2, Michael Hegney, $51. Anything, Mick?
Oh, look, I expect struggle. I didn't think the Western Racing Association qualifier was that strong this year, and I know a lot of former pundits have said that perhaps it's one of the weaker areas each and every year, but this year in particular, I didn't think there was a great deal of depth. He's a good little bread and butter horse, and Snow Rob's done a great job with his horses when he's gone out on his own the last year or two, and he's won 4 from 21. One thing I will say is he's never raced better, and he's going to race on speed. He's going to try and stretch them out, but I'd be very surprised if he was to win.
Yeah, Mick, if the King of the West can't find him in the numbers, I'm not going to. A couple of points on the horse, though. Brett Robb and Tony Kilmartin, they found this horse 2 years ago, and they openly said to people out in the West that we're going to target this race, and they've pulled off a plan. So good on them. Brett's starting a new venture in Dubbo, and I wish him all the best. I think it says a lot about the owner and the trainer sticking with Michael Hegney. Mick, I know that you're a big fan of it. We've had these discussions before, but that's what this race is all about, isn't it? Michael Hegney, experienced jockey, well-travelled. He pops up at Wangaratta one day and then turns up at Ballina the next and sleeps in his car. As far as I'm concerned, the owner, the trainer, the jockey, that's what the race is all about. I see him getting left out somewhere near the front, Mick, and getting swamped. When the Bushies race for a bit of money, they tend to go a little bit hard, and I see him probably being that horse. But Jesus, I'll get off my chair if he kicks clear in the straight, and you won't meet a better trainer, owner, and jockey combination in the race.
Yeah, that's for sure. He'll make his own luck.
Absolutely, and just a couple of points there. There's a couple of soft 6 ratings that are pretty impressive. So if it happens to just love the mud out of nowhere, you'll be getting out of your chair there, Mitch. Righto, number 11 to the nines, $34 with Jordan Mallion on board from Barrier 4.
Yeah, looking for positives. Look, he's lightly raced. He's only had, the 10 starts, 3 wins, 4 minor placings. I'm big rap for Tash Burley. She does a great job with her team. The gap between runs makes things a little bit difficult, but has raced well fresh in the past.
Yeah, got the heat rating high, obviously. Sound like a bit of a parrot here with Mick, but big fan of Tash Burley. She's a big race trainer. She's been here and done it before. She's won Country Cup. She's won highways, most notably with Yamaha. She won't be overawed by the big day. And I'm expecting an honest run from the horse.
Tell you what, boys, 2 for 2 on the heavy, only ever gone to a heavy 8. Potentially could be another horse that just goes, I just like it, wetter the better. And I think $34. There's a lot of these, there's a couple of horses here that are $34 that should be 200. This is a $34 shot that should be $34 for mine.
Yep.
Moving to number 12, Amulet Street with a great Hugh Bowman on from barrier 6, $81.
Well, they got this fellow into the final, and that was the plan all along. He was purchased to try and compete in this series, and he tried his heart out there at Canberra. Was no match for Great Buy, and you'd have to say he had every chance. One thing I will say is he doesn't run any bad races. He's had 13 starts with 2 wins and 10 minor placings. Has been placed 2 from 2 on heavy tracks. I'd be blown over with a feather if he was to win. I expect him to be outclassed.
Yeah, Gano, as you know, mate, I showed a bit of an interest in that Canberra heat from early on in the piece, and I had him outside of my numbers at Canberra. I had him 4th or 5th pick outside of Ferris and Great Buy and Activation. I'm just going off the SP. I had him marked sort of double figures at Canberra, and he ran better than I expected. I'm going to have him marked at a long price here, and I wish the connections all the best. Clint Luddenham, Todd Smith, his racing manager, terrific fellas, and contribute a lot to country racing. I just see a few of the other horses being a little bit more classier. That's all.
Awesome. And look, just some hope for the owners here. I tell you what, first 2 career starts were on heavy tracks, and those ratings were pretty impressive. Has yet to return to a heavy track. So once again, one of those ones that's at a massive price, finally gets back to a heavy track. Won't be getting any of mine, but I'll tell you what, wouldn't shock if it runs in the top half of the field. So
I did have this discussion with Anthony Mann today about this particular horse. I'm not sure why it come up in conversation, but he echoes your thoughts, Gano. Heavy track form early on in the piece, very, very good. And if there was a long shot, he thought that could be a hope.
There you go, punters. Bit of Manto Mail. He's pretty smart, so there we go. Have to get him on next time. Righto, here's the irony. Lockdown Gamble, barrier 12, Matthew Carl, $81.
Got promoted into the field after tags. Unfortunately, couldn't mend his barrier manners. Finished 3rd in the Mudgee heat. It was a really good effort. Just wanted to lug out off the track coming around the home corner and probably cost himself a little bit. Finished 3rd. It was a tough effort. Dave Smith's done a great job with this horse. And one thing for sure and certain, if this horse hits the front at the furlong, you'll hear Dave Smith. He's one of those not afraid to cheer. He's got a big bellowing voice, and yeah, you'd hear him from Rose Hill.
Yeah, not a lot more to add. Mick's the guru in that area. Just to echo Mick's thoughts, Dave Smith or Matthew Carl, they won't be overawed by this situation. Matthew Carl has ice running through his veins, and Dave Smith's been here before. Distinctive look, Mick.
Yeah,
that name of the horse. So he's been here before, running the pouring rain in the heat. And if I'm just looking for a punting edge, or I'm looking to look for negatives why I can't back them, because you could probably back them all. I've just taken a set against the horses that ran 3rd in their heat, didn't have a lot of excuses, and have got in the race off a scratching, and he's one of them. But you don't have to look far to see that Dave Smith is a top fella. They get out there every morning in the freezing cold. Marky Milton, Dave Smith, James Rogers, Jake Pracey Holmes. They have a bit of fun out there at Mudgee, and I wish them all the best. They've got a ticket in the raffle, and I'll be cheering if it kicks to the lead.
Outstanding. All I say there for punters that are going to have a bit of a spec on Lockdown Gamble, because it's a bit of a name that's been floating around over the time. We've all had a Lockdown Gamble. Its 4 worst career runs have been a soft 7 or worse. So yeah, wish them all the best. Number 14, Zoukina, barrier 4, Tommy Berry, $26.
Yeah, well, I suppose with her, she's not a horse that I'm entertaining. The form would probably, you can correct me on this, Gano, but maybe reads that she's a little bit better on top of the ground. Like she's finished she finished 2nd to Far Too Easy, who is being touted as the favourite in the race. So when you look at the discrepancy there in price from an SP point of view, I think $26 currently available for her. You could maybe build a case on that from that regard or from that viewpoint, but not for mine.
Did you build the case the other way, Mick, and say that potentially Far Too Easy's probably should be longer?
Well, yes. Yeah, we're all in agreement on that, weren't we? That perhaps Far Too Easy is under the odds at this stage. It's obviously got plenty of talent, but I wouldn't have had Far Too Easy favourite.
Yeah, I don't have much more to add, Gano. Pluses are probably Tommy Berry and a middle barrier or middle-ish barrier in barrier 5. Once again, I'm just looking for an edge on why I can't back them, because I'd have something on all of them, but I'm just disregarding sort of the fillies and the mares. Good luck to Stephen Lee. Since I've been punting, he's been up in that Northern Rivers area and he's been dominating that area for a long, long time. He takes them over the border to Doomben and Eagle Farm and gets the cash every now and then. He's obviously in a very astute horse trainer. Good luck to them. I just didn't have it in my numbers, but they're here in the big dance.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Mick, in regards to your reference to the wet tracks. Note says appears to say best for dry. So there you go, punters. We'll probably let that one go through the keeper. But speaking of dry, this is the opposite. Swamp Nation, number 15, Maddie Derrick, $26.
Yeah, well, she's been, hasn't she? Like she's only a 3-year-old filly, and was definitely flying under the radar leading into the Taree heat. Was good enough to win there, beating Little Profit. The effort was good. Has since had another run at Newcastle, finished at the tail of the field, and that's playing in the back of my mind. Might have just been a bit of a tick-over run, maybe a bit of a conditioning run, just to bridge that gap to get to the final. But even taking that into calculations, you probably would have liked to have seen her finding the line a little bit better than she did there at Newcastle.
Yeah, my thoughts echo yours, Mick. Just when you're looking at markets and stuff, I'm not probably right into forming markets, probably even as much as either of you two guys. But you've just got to look at the SP. She SP big at the Taree heat. She's probably going to SP big here, and as the percentages come down, she's probably going to get out. I carried on before about Mick Hegney and Choco Cavallo. Good on the camp, sticking with the girl. Like it's fantastic for country racing. These last two horses, Maddie Derrick and I think CJ Graham, that's what the race is about. Whether they get beat 10 lengths or not, I don't have it in my numbers, but good on them for sticking with the girl and sticking to their guns. It says a lot about the trainer in the camp, and good luck to them on Saturday afternoon.
Absolutely, boys. Not much more to add there. So we go Little Profits, CJ Graham, barrier 15, $34.
Yeah, it was a good effort finishing runner up to Swamp Nation. I say it was a good effort, mainly due to the fact things didn't really work out for the filly that day. She did cover a little bit of ground, didn't get the most comfortable run in transit, and was still good enough to qualify. She's had another run at Grafton since, finished in the placings there behind Buffett Buster. Big price currently, and I think deservedly so.
Yeah, not much more to add from me. Bad barrier, but I don't know if that's going to be a massive factor on the day when we're talking about where the horses are going to get to. I've just touched on, I had some of the heats rated a bit higher than others, and this filly comes out of a heat that I didn't have rated overly high. Once again, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but she's a filly and they don't have a great record in the race. Not much to add. Once again, CJ Graham, good on the connections for supporting not only an apprentice jockey, a local jockey and a country jockey. So congratulations to them and good luck on Saturday.
Yeah, amazing and good stories and good for Maddie and good for CJ and amazing for connections who probably get a day out at Randwick races. They were two horses for mine that were in that 26.30 mark that could potentially be 100 to 1, but also potentially horses that could come back next year in the future and definitely be bigger contenders. Gents, there's only one emergency we really want to talk about. Banju. Obviously, no barrier draw yet. I'm assuming it's a bit like, as Mick referred to earlier before we came on, Greyhound. So probably just slot into whatever barrier that any horse falls out. $13. Anything?
Oh, look, you can't fault his form, can you? Like he won those two highways with a leg in the air. The most recent victory there at Rose Hill, one way up was by 5 lengths, and it was just such a dominant performance. He's very unlucky not to have qualified. He's finished third in the Tamworth heat. behind Anathol and Commander Hunt. That was a pretty strong race. And then went to the wild card where all the big guns were lining up and ran third again. So, he should be in the field just the way the cards fell. He's not. But should he get his opportunity, they'll know he's there.
Jano, just a question for you. He's obviously $13 and not qualified. They're banking on a scratching, and we've got a heavy 10, and horses have got to come and travel from the bush and get down here where things can go wrong. Had he have qualified, what price would it be, do you think?
Bloody good question, mate. Question without notice. You got me real good.
I apologize. You're the market.
Generally, yeah. Well, what I've done is I've excluded all emergencies outside of it, and I've got it marked $8. So
yeah,
there's your answer.
Yeah, and off that, and based off the fact that he's run third in probably two of the stronger heats, if it gets to the race, it's in with a mighty shot. Very consistent horse. Just what if we're waiting on that scratching.
Yeah, look, you'd like to think, obviously, if you're in the connections, you'd like to think it's going to get a run. Given there's going to be some trainers here that just go, look, it's not going to be any good for our horse to go around on this. So fingers crossed. Obviously, everyone gets their chance. No horses get scratched through the vets. If something does get scratched, it's because they want to go around, and Banju does get a chance. Righto, gents. Now's the time. We're going to wrap up Mick Wallace top 4 in order.
Yeah, I'm going to go 3, 6, and 1. I'm going to put Commander Hunt on top. I just think this horse is a remarkable price at this stage. I can see Commander Hunt getting the right run, sitting 3 or 4 deep with cover. I think 1,400 metres best trip. I think the heavy track suits. I've got 3 another 1 in for second. Was my on-top selection all the way through. Just the way the race shape more than anything just scares me a little bit. Edit's always had a big boom on the horse, and for that reason, you've always got to take a shortish quote. And One Cavalier Charles is the horse that's just been doing everything right. It's won 3 from 4 this preparation on the upward spiral. And I know you said only 4, but I'll make a little mention there of Zoo Station. I would love to see a horse from the Central Districts go on and win the race. We've perhaps underachieved a little bit in the Central and Western Districts over the course of and history of the race, and it's only a matter of time before we take out the big one.
Mitch, mate, the punters are ready. Pens poised. What do you got?
Yeah, very similar numbers to Mick, mate. I've got Edit Wing, everything that we spoke about in the show. Astute trainer, astute jockey, astute owners and management group. Classy horse for mine. I've got another one in for second, just through history. He's been there and done it before. Cavalier Charles, probably, in my opinion, outside of probably Shelby 66, the informed horse in sort of country New South Wales. He's just done everything right. And then, as I said, the horse from Braywood, Testor of Silence, I've got in for 4th. Very similar to Mick. If Commando Hunt or Zoo Station come flying down the middle of the track, I won't give 2 hoots about me tips. I'll be cheering for Gaynor Williams and Cameron Crockett, and especially Choco Cavallo. But I can't fit them all in, and it's 6 to beat 3, 1 and 4 for me.
Outstanding, boys. And obviously everyone's here to listen to your tips, but I'll tell you what, there's a couple of guys on Twitter that chimed in. Julia Holzman, Commando Hunt reckons a 1x4 is a great play. So bit of agreement there. And obviously, geez, Louis, really, tap and run. Please, Lewis, give it a spell. Just because it went around in Flemington does not mean it's going to win anything. Although Mitch, well in sight, went around in Flemington, and I reckon it's going to win a few more. For what it's worth, punters, my top 4, 8, 6, 3 and 5 with Mick and Julian, Commando Hunt. I just think if we can get that, I just love what I saw with that rain coming down. I thought, geez, if we can get a bit more of that scenario, Nash on, no knock on Brooke, absolutely no knock at all. But Nash on there, wow. The next one, Edit. Everything Mitch said, good horse, going places. If it handles the wet, grows leg on the wet, watch out. Another one, and Zoo Station. I'm just throwing him simply because they're both on the 1,500 and the 1,800 metres. Real simple, boys. Anything else to add for the punters? Anything else you potentially may like on the weekend?
Oh, just one thing. How good did Mitch go? He could get into the media. We might have to get him a start in the Sky Academy even. And it's also comforting to know we travel in similar circles a lot of the time in the bush areas. And if maybe I have just 1 or 2 many beers one night, I can call upon Mitch just to step in for me when we're out in the Western District.
How about that, Mitch?
Well, mate, I've definitely got a body for radio, so The only time I'll be stepping in and working with you is I'll probably have to share Benny Walker's or Richard Callender's suit because we've got the same size suit jacket. So that's the only time I'll be stepping in there. But I appreciate the kind words. The only thing to add from me, Gano and Mick, is just a quick shout out to my business partner, Anthony Manton. He's been selected to call the race by, I presume, the ATC or Racing New South Wales and Sky Thoroughbred Central. I'm obviously privy to it. I call him a mate. He's my business partner. But the amount of time that he spends on form, travelling to and from the races, and his passion for country racing, call me biased, but I don't think there was a better candidate. So congratulations, man, and good luck on Saturday.
Me?
Oh, for sure. He's a mate of all of ours, Anthony Manton. He's a very accurate caller, and like Mitch said, it's just the passion. He's got that that real love and affection for the areas that he calls in and does form for regularly. And his knowledge stretches beyond those areas, though, and he'll know all the little idiosyncrasies of each and every horse lining up on Saturday. And I'm sure his call will be top rate and will reflect the hard work he's put in.
Absolutely. As far as I'm concerned, one of the best callers, not just in New South Wales, but in Australia, deserves the opportunity, and he will absolutely nail it. Gentlemen, here it is. If you want to buy a horse, jump on board Patriot Bloodstock. They are the best in the business. We have a ripping horse wheeling site. We have an absolute load of fun. If you want horse racing tips, Mick Wallace is your man. Jump on Sky Racing, check out what he does, and winner, Mick Wallace, at Mick Wallace, something like that.
At Mick Wallace Mail. I used to be called at pub punters, but I got the tap on the shoulder from the boss, and they said it sounded a bit bogan, so I had to change it. But anyway,
I love it. And Mick, while we have you, mate, before we wrap up, any chance we're going to see you doing any karaoke or live band performances in the next coming week or two?
Well, I shouldn't think so. Semi-retired these days, but you never say never. It's a bit like the old John Farnham thing. You might come back and make an appearance at some stage, but no, there's a hell of a lot better tipsters than me, and a hell of a lot better singers.
Mate, absolutely not. I saw what you did on Twitter today. That was ripping. I might have you over for a Barbie, get the guitar and the mic out, and we'll have a sing along. All right, boys. Thank you so much, punters. I hope you chime into plenty of winners. And look, give us some comments, give us some feedback, tell us your best bets, and give the boys a wrap.